And what happens is she guides me to the edge of the woods. And when I get to the edge of the woods, it the tree line breaks, and we come out of the tree line, and we're on like a hill of sorts, and it's sloping down into open valley, grassland. However, the sky is gray, and it's slightly lit in shades of orange and things like that, like fire or something. I wasn't really sure. So, but I noticed that down in here, that what she brought me to see is we were standing at this tree line at the edge of the forest, and this plain that sloped down to us, and what there was a structure, like a semi-ruined structure of a modern building materials. So it was a ruined building from this time period of sorts, like the kind of crap we build. It's just, had fallen apart, the ruined structures. And in the middle of this like rubble, there were thousands and thousands of people all standing there still, and the sky is overcast and gray, and there's like a light rain. It was kind of like a forlorn scene in the beginning. You're like, oh man, this is awfully drab looking. But so we're standing there, and we're just looking out. We're observing this thing before us. All these people who are just standing there, and all these people are standing like in a group, like a circle, and just a mass, a crowd of people, just all standing, and none of them are motionless, and they're all dressed the same. Everyone has like suits. It's all black suits, black ties, white shirts, men, women, and they all have umbrellas. And so like, because we're on the hill, we're looking down at them at like an angle, and I can see like the people, the layer of the people, and then like the separate layer of all their umbrellas, because everyone's holding an umbrella, and they're all just huddled together, like they're trying to protect themselves from the storms coming or something. And no one's making any motions, no one's talking. And it started to get it started to get kind of like, what's going on here? And about that point, of course, these people are like physically immobile. They're standing relatively rigid the entire time. But like this rigid mass of people that's all standing here, like out of them, like a person starts to rise up out of the crowd, and they're just holding their umbrellas. They like Mary Poppins, like, and so this person is rising out of this crowd, just poppins and all up out of the crowd into the sky, and as that happens, like, there's this hole in the crowd of people, and the barrier they had was broken, and with that one hole, that one person, like over here there's like another person that started to rise up, and then like over here there'd be like another person that would just like that, and as we stood there and watched this, there's just one person after another. Shit, excuse me. That's an acronym, by the way. These people are rising up out of this crowd, and it's leaving little broken spaces below in this mass of people. So as we're watching this and this is happening, and these more and more people as time goes by, like there's like one at first, and then like another person, and then like two people would like come up at the same time, not necessarily like together, but you know, and then like a couple more people, and then like a group of like 3 or 4 would like move up, and as this was happening, like just this mass of people that was just with their barrier of umbrellas and everything was just breaking apart, and it was just no one was moving that was still standing on the ground. They didn't leave their positions, but there was no like it looked like honeycomb, you know, or empty spaces all in this crowd of people, and as these empty spaces were forming, like more people were just rising up from this crowd, and more empty spaces were forming, and that's basically how it ended. Like, I just watched these people rise up, and they were all, you know, like moving up towards the sky at different, like in different levels, you know, at different altitudes, but they were all moving up towards the sky as like a single unit, as like a whole. And they're just, as they're going up, I look down, and the crowd, that's what's left of the crowd that's just standing there, is just still standing there, and amongst this rubble and tattered stuff, with their umbrellas, still doing what they're doing, but there's just gaps. There's just gaps everywhere in this group, but none of them are just moving. None of them are moving. They're just still standing there, and that's how it ended. And it was wild. I'll let you take from it what you like, but I did write it down because, as I say, I tried to. This is my medium that I can use to try and document all this, and of course this has been a little edited to make it sound better, but this is what I wrote. I emerged from the forest, my forest, to come upon a plain and an army of thousands here waiting. A windswept sea of black suits and black ties, silently standing under a sky shrouded in gray yet lit by flame. This army, they brandished their shield to the sky, a mass of umbrellas, this wall of black, as barrier to the storm. As I stood, I beheld a sight as a man began to rise, just one at first, then in 2s and 3s. The bits of this army and its silent stillness rose above their sea, leaving empty spaces below. As one they rose, staggered yet whole, above the plain where this army stood, shattered in silence.